All right, folks, let's have some fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our Photoshop collages, our portraits, and we are going to open those up in Photoshop. Same old project that we printed and you traced over with the tracing paper to create your line. So the next thing you're going to do is Mr. Flanagan is going to scan your line drawings and then email them to you. You're going to download them from your email and open them up in Photoshop. So you'll have both files running in Photoshop. You got to actually bring that into Photoshop, just like so. All right, and here it is as a layer. I'm going to rotate this. To rotate this image, I simply hover, I have it selected. I hover up by the corner and I can flip it. There we go. Scale it up so that it is the size of my original. And an easy way to see through this is using blending modes. So I could turn down the transparency, sure, like that. But I think it's even easier, and it's actually the same blending mode that we'll be using for this project. If you select your work and hold Shift and click plus to navigate your blending modes, and darken is the one we're going for here. So darken is the blending mode that I've applied to my sketch. You can see it when I select it. It says the blending mode right there. So there it is. Now I'm going to scale this so that it's proportionate to my my collage. And that actually looks, well, no, it doesn't. I thought it was close. And getting closer. And you can toggle using your arrow keys. I think that's pretty close. Pretty close. There we go. Okay. So once you have it lined up, what you're going to do is you're going to create an additional layer. So this is my drawing layer. This is my Photoshop layers, which I'm going to put in a folder and just call it Photoshop portrait. All right, so here's my Photoshop layers, turning them on and off with the eyeball. Here is my sketch. I'll have them both on, and I'm going to create an additional layer that I'll put behind my sketch layer. Okay, and on this layer is where I'm going to be adding color. So I'll use my handy dandy paintbrush. I saw some students out there experimenting with different brushes. That's awesome. There's all sorts of different brushes in here that you can use. I'm just going to stick with the old-fashioned flat brush here. And I'm adding color. I adjusted my eyes here, so I'm actually going to color over that. So all you see are the eyes that I drew. There we go, here's a start. I'm gonna make the teeth white. Just give them like sort of a cartoony feel. Really walking the line between photo, real, and also sort of illustrated. I'm going to add some blue to the water. So I'll just paint that right in. And guys, it's also a good idea to separate your layers. So maybe I want to affect this blue with a blending mode, and I don't want to affect the rest of the layers. So I'm going to open up a new layer, paint this blue in wherever I see it. Here as well. You can see this water's overlapping my shirt. And I'll probably play with some blending modes on this to see what where I might land. So wherever I see water, I'm just painting it in. Another thing, I've added in these sort of illustrated ears. I'm going to go back to my original layer with the color that I won't be affecting and pull a skin tone using this eyedropper tool. I'll pull a skin tone and add that in so they feel like part of me. That's me looking. Kind of what I'm going for though. All right, so we'll get some blue, go back to my water layer, and finish adding this in. Okay, you can see it's really getting pretty close, guys. I mean, it's really fun stuff. I'm going to also add sort of a reddish tint to the inside of my head. You can see, for those of you who pop the lids off your heads, you know, it might be good to think about what kind of color. You're probably going to want to go with a darker shadow. You know, my light source is more of a dark shadow for this, so I'm going to do that. And then I want to go with a sort of a, I drew that in on my water layer. Oh, Mr. F. Back up, just handy dandy Control Z, go back to my color layer and add that in. Okay. And I'm going to go with some Mario type pipes. So I'm going to go with green and I'll add those. So as you can see, guys, I'm just working with layers, making sure that things are separated if they need to be. Go back to my water layer. Okay, maybe I'll add some little hints of blue in the eyes. Variation is key, as you guys know. So it's getting pretty close, right? It's kind of got that that Ian Cinco, a little bit of a Yuko feel. I'm going to fill this up and make this transparent, so translucent. So the water is actually, you can see it filling up this tank. Close. All right, I'm going to pull this color, my hair, and add that in the hair that I added. Sort of some whimsical fun to the portrait. Some of you guys added hair overlapping. Hair is such a good opportunity to just create some, you know, especially where it's more solid and rigid. Some of your breaks. Hair is a great place to maybe create some overlap and interest where you have those cutouts. So you know, have fun with it. This should feel very loose. So have fun with it, and these are your objectives for this project so far. Okay, so once you bring it into Photoshop, this is kind of where we're at. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm here for you, so don't hesitate to ask. All right, this is just for reference. I'm going to go over this in class as well. Thanks.